ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for reading of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, so I pray at your for your blessings so that I can glorify Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, text 15. Namam dushkritino mudha प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमा मायया परितज्ञान आशुरिं भावमाश्रितः. Word to word meanings: na, not; mam, unto me; dushkritina, miscreants; moodha, moodha, foolish; prapadyante, surrender; naradamaha, lowest among mankind; mayaya, by the illusionary energy; apahrita, stolen; jnanaha, whose knowledge; asuram, demoniac; bhavam, nature; ashritaha, accepting. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So the purport is very big, so I have been asked to cover half of the purport, and the tomorrow speaker will speak the remaining purport. So I'll just offer Mangalacharan prayers, then I will read para by para and we can discuss. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratpise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is one of the very important slokas in the Bhagavad Gita. So where it explains 4 kind of people who do not surrender to Krishna. So I'll just read translation. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Purport. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that simply by surrendering oneself unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality, Krishna, one can surmount the stringent laws of material nature. At this point, a question arises. How is it that educated philosophers, scientists, businessmen, administrators, and all the leaders of ordinary man do not surrender to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the all-powerful personality of Godhead? Mukti, or liberation from the laws of material nature, is sought by the leaders of mankind in different ways and with great plans and perseverance for a great many years and births. But if that liberation is possible by simply surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then why don't these intelligent and hard-working leaders adopt this simple method? The Gita answers this question very frankly. Those really learned leaders of the society, like Brahma, Shiva, Kapila, the Kumaras, Manu, Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Janaka, Pralada, Bali, and later on Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya, and many others, who are faithful philosophers, politicians, educators, scientists, etc., surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, the all-powerful authority. Those who are not actually philosophers, scientists, educators, administrators, etc., but who pose themselves as such for material gain, do not accept the plan or path of the Supreme Lord. They have no idea of God. They simply manufacture their own worldly plans and consequently complicate the problems of material existence in their vain attempts to solve them. Because marginal energy, nature is so powerful, it can resist the unauthorized plans of the atheist and baffle the knowledge of planning commissions. So, I'll just discuss, then we will read a little bit more paragraph. So, the first, Krishna is telling that, like Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, we have to just simply surrender to Krishna. So what is the meaning of surrendering to Krishna? Bhaktivinoda Thakur defines, Anukulyasya sankalpam, Pratikulyasya varjanam, Rakshe sviti vishwasho, Gotrupte varanatada, Atmanikshepa karyano, Shadvida sharanagati. So he tells the surrender has 6 qualities. So one who is advanced, he tries to follow these 6 principles of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpam. He accepts what is favorable to Krishna consciousness. Pratikulyasya varjanam. He rejects what is unfavorable. Raksheshyati vishwasho. He has complete faith that Krishna will protect. I am forgetting one. Raksheshyati vishwasho. Gotrupte varanam tata. Like Krishna is the, means Krishna should be pleased. Atmanikshepa karpanyo means Krishna, one should fully surrender to Krishna. So this is one who is a sincere seeker of truth. He follows these things to the fullest extent. But what is required here? Because we see Krishna also tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Yadyad acharati shrestha तत्तत्येव तरोजना sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. In this world, if you see, many people want examples. They are looking for some people to follow. So who are they? Mostly they are, philosophers, scientists, businessmen, administrators, everybody. Like, and nowadays if you see, there are so many movie stars, cinema stars, or, sports stars, and also some business, leaders. So all the youth and other people, they want to follow. So they want, but these people, they do not accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one example which we can think is from the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the Puri, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, the moment he reached the Jagannath Puri temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became unconscious in front of Lord Jagannath. So all the custodians of the temple, like the servitors, they try to remove Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But there, one personality was there, who is the head priest, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So the moment he saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so that he has seen certain Ashtasattvika Vikar, means the transcendental symptoms in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. So he told, carry him to my house. So he has taken to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house. So then once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became conscious, then they had a discussion where he said that you are a sannyasi, you should study Vedanta Sutra. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu humbly heard for 7 days continuously from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So at the end, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was free from this concept of mukti, liberation. So many people, if he does not accept Krishna having a form, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he will be guiding so many people, thousands of people, because he is one of the Raja Pandita, means like in the kingly palace, he is one of the topmost teacher, we can say, that time. So if he is not going to accept that Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he is going to guide so many other people in the wrong direction. So here, that is the most important. So in the answer, Prabhupada tells very nicely, if anybody accepts, surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, then they are actually philosopher, scientist, educator, administrator, not the so-called educator or philosopher or leader. They are not actually, they are simply cheaters. So very nicely explained here by Prabhupada, gives a very nice examples here. We all know there are 12 Mahajanas which are mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, Kumara Kapilo Manu, Prahlada Janako Bhishmo, Balir Vayasakir Vayam. So if anybody has doubt, like whom to follow, so he has to refer to this list. Always with reference, Mahajanayana Gatasya Pantha. So one should follow in the footsteps of Mahajanas. Who are the Mahajanas? These people: Brahma, Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Lord Shiva, Kumara, 4 Kumaras, Kapila, Kapil Dev, Manu, Swayambhu Manu, Prahlada, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka Maharaj, Bhishma Pitamaha, Bali Maharaj, Vayasakir, Sukadev Goswami, and the last, who is telling this verse? by Yamaraj. Yamaraj is telling. So Yamaraj is telling to Yamadutas when they went to arrest Ajamila, but when they failed, Vishnudutas came and stopped him that no, you cannot arrest him. You know, he is not sinful. He has taken the name of Narayana. So then they had an argument. Then they went back to Yamaraj. In that he is telling, these 12 people know what is dharma. So he is telling. So if anybody is following in their footsteps, Sri Prabhupada is saying here, you know, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so many followers. Okay, it's our good fortune that we are, you know, have the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada, especially in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we follow, then we can become a real philosopher, a real scientist, a real educator, or a real administrator who can guide the society. So let me read continuation. The atheistic plan makers are described herein by the word dushkruti, miscreants. Kriti means one who has performed meritorious work. The atheist plan maker is sometimes very intelligent and meritorious also, because any gigantic plan, good or bad, must take intelligence to execute. Very nice statement, Prabhupada. Any gigantic plan, good or bad, must take intelligence to execute. But because the atheist brain is improperly utilized in opposing the plan of the Supreme Lord, the atheistic plan maker is called dushkruti, which indicates that his intelligence and efforts are misdirected. So one nice example, recently I was hearing that many times we see until unless you know, Krishna also tells that in the 10th chapter, if somebody is having some skill, so that is coming from Krishna. Okay. So if we see in this world, we see so many powerful people, scientists, leaders, politicians, and philosophers, but they don't accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So why? Actually, because of the blessing of Krishna, they got that position. Krishna tells also in Bhagavad Gita that one who has practiced or who has done some merit, he get birth as Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Nasta Yoga Vrashto Abhijayate. So either he takes birth in the wealthy family or he takes birth in a devotee family. So the point here is that but now unfortunately they are not taking that knowledge. So what happens? So there is one nice example is given to understand this. Somebody may be involved in so many sinful activities, but apparently he doesn't believe in Krishna. So how to understand this? So if you see, there is a big storehouse of grains. Grains are stored. So what happens normally in the villages, there is a big storehouse where grains are stored. Normally grains are poured from the top, but they are taken for a daily basis from the bottom. So what happens normally, so if a good crop comes, so we pour and we are taking. So and the next year, if the crop is not good, so if I pour this, but if I see I am pouring the like, you know, not a good one, but below the good one is coming. So how to understand this? In the same way, from the previous births, certain accumulated piety is there. That is the reason he has become a philosopher or an educator or a leader. So, but once it exhausted, then again he falls down. So, but that we can see only through Shastra Chakshu. If we have eyes with eyes of, if we see through the scriptures, then we can understand this. Or else, it will be very bewildering to understand. So many people are there, they have great positions, but how Krishna is permitting? Because they have performed some work, so that is the reason Krishna is permitting. Once they don't use it for progressing from there, so if they misuse that opportunity given to them, so they will go back. In the Gita, it is clearly mentioned that material energy works fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Maya dakshena prakriti suyatesa characharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. So this is the verse Prabhupada is talking here. It has no independent authority. It works as the shadow moves in accordance with the movements of the object. But still, material energy is very powerful. And the atheist, due to his godless temperament, cannot know how it works, nor can he know the plan of the Supreme Lord. So we can see, actually, there is a concept recently we were discussing in one of the presentations. There is a concept called self-replicating machine. So scientists are trying to create this self-replicating machine. What is self-replicating machine? If I see a seed is a self-replicating machine. If I put the seed in the soil, it will give a tree or a plant, and it produces certain seeds, and if I sow that seed again, it further produces. So whatever is produced by Krishna, they are all self-replicating. Okay, so scientists are exploring that if we can also create this kind of a machine, if this kind of something, so that it replicates again and again itself. But we see if once the day if scientists are successful for this, then how common person understands? Common person feels that there is no need of God. They feel that scientists can do everything. But scientists cannot create that because they are not understanding that this the way how tree is growing, it is being controlled by a person. They feel that this nature is not controlled by anybody. They feel that it's a mechanistic arrangement. No, it's not just a mechanistic arrangement. It's a machine but controlled by a person. So this is the main point, as people have to understand that everything is controlled. Controlled means there is a controller. Okay. So if foolishly if we think that it is self, there is no person who is controlling this, then that is called dushkrutina. They don't believe the existence of God. But still material energy is very powerful, and the atheist, due to his godless temperament, cannot know how it works, nor can he know the plan of the Supreme Lord. Under illusion and the modes of passion and ignorance, all his plans are baffled, as in the case of Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, whose plans were smashed to dust, although they were both materially learned as scientists, philosophers, administrators and educators. These dushkrutinas or miscreants are of 4 different patterns as outlined below. So here Krishna talks about 4 kinds of people who does not surrender into him. Who are they? The Mudas and Naradhama, Mayaya Prahitagnana, next Ashurim Bhavamasritaha. These are the 4 kinds of people. Who are Mudas? They are grossly foolish. The second, called Naradhama, they are lowest of mankind. The third, Mayaha Pratignana, whose erudite knowledge has been nullified by the influence of illusionary material energy. Last, Ashurim Bhavamasrita. So, those of demoniac principles. So, we were reading that the most important, like we can see here, this chapter title itself is called Knowledge at the Absolute. So, if the most important here is that basic knowledge, I am not this body, I am a spirit soul and I am part and parcel of Krishna. If this knowledge can only come in the present day, if he or she has like it, actually this is a very common understanding in the villages, like earlier in the culture of India especially, even in in general also, it's very easy to understand that we are not the controllers, we are being controlled. But due to so-called advancement of knowledge and civilization, we are going away from these cultural roots, so it is very getting difficult to appreciate this, because the world is guided, not misguided. So let me read the first part. The Moodas are those who are grossly foolish, like hard-working beasts of burden. They want to enjoy the fruits of their labor by themselves, and so do not want to part with them for the supreme. The typical example of the beast of burden is the ass. This human beast is made to work very hard by his master. The ass does not really know for whom he works so hard day and night. He remains satisfied by fulfilling his stomach with a bundle of grass, sleeping for a while under fear of being beaten by his master, and satisfying his sex appetite at the risk of being repeatedly kicked by the opposite party. The ass sings poetry and philosophy sometimes, but this braying sound only disturbs others. This is the position of the foolish fruity worker who does not know for whom he should work. He does not know that karma, action, is meant for yajna. Okay. So Krishna is clearly tells in the Bhagavad Gita, karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu katachana ma karma phalahetubur mate sangosva karmani. So you have right to do the duty, but you do not have any right over the result. Okay. So here these Moodas are mainly, here refers to the people who work very hard, but they do not believe in Krishna. They feel, there are so many people, they feel that like work is worship. You know, this is like kind of, this is, we can say, kind of people whom here Krishna is talking. They don't feel that you have right to do duty, but not the right over your result. They feel that we have to work very hard, we have to earn so much, we have to do so many things, but they don't believe the supremacy of Krishna. This is only by the supreme controller that I am able to do my work, not because of my strength. And whatever I am doing, that is, has to be like a sacrifice, not for my personal gratification. Even in the starting of the first chapter, Arjuna is also saying to Krishna, Krishna, if I fight, even if I get this kingdom, what is the use that my relatives are going to be killed? So how can I enjoy? No. Krishna teaches the entire Bhagavad Gita to show that you are not fighting for your enjoyment. You have to fight for my satisfaction. Your only duty is to satisfy me. Most often, those who work very hard day and night to clear the burden of self-created duties say that they have no time to hear the immortality of living being. To such mudas, material gains, which are destructible, are lives all in all. Despite the fact that the mudas enjoy only a very small fraction of the fruit of labor, sometimes they spend sleepless days and nights for fruitive gain. Although they may have ulcers or indigestion, they are satisfied with practically no food. They are simply absorbed in working hard day and night for the benefit of illusory masters. Ignorant of their real master, the foolish workers waste their valuable time serving mammon. Unfortunately, they never surrender to the supreme master of all masters, nor do they take time to hear of him from the proper sources. The swine who eat the night soil do not care to accept sweet meats made of sugar and ghee. Similarly, the foolish worker will untiringly continue to hear of the sense-enjoyable tidings of the flickering mundane world, but will have very little time to hear about the eternal living force that moves the material world. So, a very nice examples are given in the Shastra that in this world, who is sleeping under the lap of Maya, it's compared to a person beaten by snake. So we see a snake actually in the ancient days, even in some of the parts of India we can find. Normally, if a snake is beaten, the cure is that a snake charmer will be called and he chants some mantras. And the person who is beaten, he just wakes up. Because normally a person, if he is beaten by the snake, he becomes unconscious. Okay? But the moment this snake charmer comes and he chants certain mantras, so that person can be waken up. In the same way, in this, the solution here is, the people who are like here mudas, is that they should hear from a pure devotee. When that sound enters into the ears, so, and they will be woken up from this lap of Maya. This is the medicine which is given. Srunvatamsa katha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hrudayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhishrutam nasta prayesha abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. So, the first and foremost thing which starts with hearing. So, when we hear, because this recently one devotee was saying that some people tell that I read Bhagavad Gita. No, reading Bhagavad Gita is not important, it's not sufficient. Hearing Bhagavad Gita is important. One should hear Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master. When that sound enters into the ears, Karna Randra, from there it enters into the Hrudaya, heart. There it purifies and transforms. So here, I should read one more, or I should stop. So I will just read one more. So, another class of Dushkruti or miscreant is called the Naradhama, or the lowest of mankind. Nara means human being and Adhama means lowest. Out of 8.4 million different species of living beings, there are 4 lakh human species. Out of these, there are numerous lower forms of human life that are mostly uncivilized. The civilized human beings are those who have regulative principles of social, political, religious and religious life. If somebody is civilized, so what is the most important thing? He is regulated. If somebody is not regulated, he is not civilized. So Prabhupada has compassionately, has simplified for us with just 4 principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. If somebody follows these 4 principles, he can be considered as civilized. Those who are socially and politically developed but who have no religious principles must be considered Naradamas. Nor is religion without God is religion, because the purpose of following religious principles is to know the supreme truth and man's relation with him. In the Gita, the personality of Godhead clearly states that there is no authority above him, that he is the supreme truth. The civilized form of human life is meant for man's reviving the lost consciousness of his eternal relationship with the supreme truth, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who is all powerful. Whoever loses this chance is classified as Naradhama. We get information from revealed scriptures that when the baby is in the mother's womb, an extremely uncomfortable situation, he prays to God for deliverance and promises to worship him alone as soon as he gets out. To pray to God when he is in difficulty is a natural instinct in every living being, because he is eternally related with God. But after his deliverance, the child forgets the difficulties of birth and forgets his deliverance also, being influenced by Maya, the illusionary energy. So Srila Prabhupada is giving the solution here, that how everybody, first defining the problem, how everybody when he is in the womb, actually it's not everybody, one who is fortunate, he prays to Krishna, "O Krishna, please bring me out from the womb of mother," because that place is very difficult. He is surrounded by, blood and so many, excreta, and insects are biting, worms are, biting. So it's very precarious condition. He's like, normally we stand like this, head, but in the mother's womb, the child is like this. The head is down, okay. It's a very difficult condition. So a fortunate soul prays, but the moment he comes out, he forgets that I have been given this great opportunity, blessing that I got this human form of body. So because the Maya. So Srila Prabhupada is giving the solution. It's the duty of the guardians of children to revive the divine consciousness dormant in them. So for that, first guardians has to become Krishna conscious. The 10 processes of reformatory ceremonies, like the Garbhadana Samskara, starting with Garbhadana Samskara, like so many, Shimanta, then Jata Karma, Namakarana. So like this, there are different samskaras are there, which are enjoined in the Manusmriti, which is a guide to religious principles, are meant for reviving God consciousness in the system of Varnashrama. However, no process is strictly followed now in any part of the world, and therefore 99.9% of the population is Naradama. So Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatasiddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschidmam veti tatvataha. Okay, so I will stop here. Maybe the next speaker can speak from tomorrow. So in summary, it is we have to have knowledge of Krishna, and our goal of life should be to surrender to Krishna. So if we do not, 4 kinds of people do not surrender. They are Mudhas and Naradhama, Maya Pretagnana, Ashrim Bhavamastrita. So I just covered the 2. So the speaker can cover tomorrow. And as I got this rare human birth, I should use this life in spreading, preaching, and understanding the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Yugavatara. So the solution is to hear about him and to practice the teachings given by him, and for that we have to lead a regulated life. Because a regulated life brings a person to the mode of goodness, free from passion and ignorance. In that state, one can try to use his intelligence to understand he is not this body, he is spirit soul. If I am in the mode of passion and ignorance, it is not possible. Okay, so I'll stop here. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments, questions? Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So, as four types of people, they come to Krishna consciousness. So, and four times doesn't come to Krishna consciousness. So, when they come to Krishna consciousness, then why do they go away again? These four type of people, those who come to Krishna consciousness, and after coming, why they go away from Krishna consciousness?
Prabhuji, actually Prabhupada has said that if somebody stays like in Krishna consciousness, that is something miracle. It is normal. People coming to Krishna consciousness, it's not like it's a continuous process, because the consciousness has to be evolved. It is not that like if I entered from that door to this door, then I have become a Krishna consciousness. It never happens like that. It's a continuous process. Every day my consciousness has to be improved. So if it is not improved, Krishna consciousness is it's like sliding. You are like traveling on a slider. So you have to put force regularly and to follow the given principles and rules and regulations, and you have to think that how can I progress. The moment I stop thinking that I'm progressing, obviously I will come down. So it is simple. If somebody is living Krishna consciousness, there is no surprise. If somebody is staying, that is something very rare. Manushyanam sahasreshu kasyate siddhi. Very rare. So people, if I don't follow the principles given, obviously I will not be Krishna conscious. I will leave tomorrow. It's a continuous process. Anything else? Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.